using Scratch. But before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys that we always want to save all of our work and never throw anything away. So to make sure that your work is saving, you can come up and look at your profile and go to My Stuff. And you'll see these are all my 4 projects here, and they all have names. So that's an important thing, is that you give each project a unique name so you know which one it is. So the first story that I actually created was this one, Miss Jackie's story, but I'm going to start a new project to show you guys how to get started on your stories. So click on New Project, then I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call this Miss Jackie's story number 2. Click Enter. It's saved. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to pick 3 backgrounds. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one, Woods and Bench. I'm going to delete this one. Pick 2 more. And this one. Alright, so we have our 3 backdrops. We have a sprite, which you can change yours or you can leave them the same. I'm going to go ahead and just use the cat to save some time. So the first thing we want to do is we want to set the location of our sprite from the very beginning so that he always goes to the same spot. And we also want to set the background to the same background so that every time that we start a story, it starts in the same way. So to set our sprite's location, we can have it go to a certain point. And right now our sprite will always go to the point that he's currently at. The other thing we can do is we can change the backdrop so that it's always set on this backdrop at the very beginning. And to start our story, instead of having to click the blocks, we want to just click the green flag. So we're going to pull out a when green flag clicked block and plug it in there. So now that our sprite and backgrounds are set and we have them starting at the same location each time, we want to introduce ourselves. So we're going to pull out one of these say hello for 2 second blocks, click it in there. We're going to say hello. My name is Miss Jackie. There we go. So now that we've introduced ourselves, we can also start answering some of the questions that we did in the survey earlier. So I'm going to say, I moved to South Carolina from Boulder, Colorado. I'm going to change that time to 3 seconds. And then after we've said or answered one of the questions, we want to go ahead and move our sprite. So to do that, we're going to come to the motion blocks. And we're not going to use move 10 steps. This time we're going to use a glide block. And this will make your sprite move smoothly across the screen. So I'm going to change it to glide for 2 seconds to a new location, 170, -56. And if you ever want to see which location or where your sprite's at, you can, I'm going to let it stop it for a second. You can pick up your sprite and move him, and down right here, this X and Y, you can see the location changing. So you can use that to set your location. So the next thing we need to do after we have our sprite glide is have him say something else about us. So we'll pull out another say block. And this time we'll say, I love working with the students at St. Stephen Middle School. And we want to go ahead and also change our background so that we can move on to the next scene. So to do that, we will pull out another switch backdrop. This time we'll change it to Urban 2, or Urban 1. So let's go ahead and see what happens. I moved to South Carolina. I'm gliding. I love working with the students at St. Stephen's. And now I'm at the second scene. And we'll see that our sprite is up a little bit high. So maybe we'll have him actually move to -99. And so now that we're on to the second scene, we're going to do the same process again, where you have your sprite answer some of the questions that you chose from the survey about themselves. So you use more of these purple say blocks up here, and have them move to a different location on the screen, and then switch the backdrop to your third scene. If you finish early, then you can go ahead and add additional scenes. You could add another sprite that talks along with your other sprite. You could try different move blocks to move your sprites around the screen. You could also add some sounds. Using this, you can start it to play a sound from the very beginning. There's a sound library that you can choose from, and if you're interested, I can also help you maybe pick a sound from the YouTube library as well. All right, so you can go ahead and start building your stories now.